So I'll introduce myself. I'm Fallon. I'm a junior marketing major, originally from San Bernardino, California, and I'm here today with Haley. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a second year student. I'm majoring in psychology and I'm minoring in Spanish, and I'm from Ohio.
Nice. I guess my first question for you is, how did you know that you wanted to go to school out of state?
Yeah, so it was something that I kind of always knew. Just growing up, I knew that I really wanted to experience a different culture and get to know people outside of my own state because I'm from a really small town where everybody just kind of knows everyone. And not too many people leave. So I knew like I just wanted to have a new experience and get to know new people and get to experience a different culture too. So I thought the best way to do that was just to go out of state for college.
Aw, that's fun. And so have you enjoyed your experience at USD so far too?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been absolutely incredible. And honestly, it was like way more awesome than I could have like ever imagined. Because obviously, like when you're coming from out of state, you don't really know what to expect. But just looking back, especially on my first year experience when we were in person, like everything about my experience was just incredible from like the classes to the people I met to the things I was able to do. Like it was all really amazing.
That's so good to hear. And so what do you think coming from your kind of home state, like even in just the Midwest, what advice would you give someone that's looking at USD and deciding to come here to
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
adjust?
For sure. So I'd probably say, like, don't be afraid to just totally embrace this new experience. Just kind of come in with your arms open to anything. So if you want to join a new club or try something you've never tried before, even things that don't necessarily interest you, like right off the bat, I think you should definitely give a try because, like, you might be really surprised by the things you try and like the people you'll meet. So just kind of like totally come in with a fresh new page, brand new start, and just kind of do everything you can to really submerge yourself in the place that you're at. I'd also recommend like asking people who are from California or who are from the area, like suggestions they might have for things to do or places to go, and just kind of like become one with the area that you're in.
Definitely. Is there anything that you wish you knew before heading to USD?
Um, I would say I probably wish I knew more about like the campus itself. I came and I visited once, but like USD's campus is kind of located like up on a hill, and it's like a 15 to 20-minute drive from most places. I don't know if you'd agree with that, but I feel like that's a pretty fair estimation. So like if you're a first year and you have a car, I definitely recommend bringing one because you'll definitely want to use it. Um, so I think that's a really minor thing, but other than that, I feel like USC is really true in the things that they say, in the way that they portray this school to like prospective students. I feel like what you see and what people say is usually like how it actually is.
Yeah, definitely. And even going back to the car thing, I think my favorite advice is to always, like, if you can't bring your car, and right now first years can't, and so I would say like just find someone that has a car, and they're usually always super used to driving everyone around. Like I know that I was the friend with the car, and so like there was never a grocery trip that I went alone. Like there was always someone with me. But no, that's definitely some good info. And I mean, I agree with you of just USD really does like provide for their students too. What do you think when you're at USD, what's like the one thing that maybe you miss about home? And like also, have you found like a way to kind of fill that at USD, fill that gap?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of out of state students would say this, but definitely my family, that's kind of what I miss the most. And I think the best way to fill that gap is probably like for me, I schedule in time every week to just kind of reconnect with my family back home. So whether that's like a sibling FaceTime or like calling my parents, I just kind of make sure that I prioritize that throughout my week because college is like a very busy time. So you have to be careful with the things that you choose to do. And also just kind of establishing your own community at USD. So for me, I had like a really good close group of friends my first year that we'd all hang out every day, do things on campus. We were part of a lot of the same clubs. And I think just kind of like having that community to lean on, they sort of become like your second family. So I would definitely recommend just getting involved, connecting with people, and just kind of establishing like your own sense of home and like kind of a second family, if you will, that you can lean on.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I think community is so big on campus of just finding people that you feel like you can connect to. And so, where on campus do you think you feel most at home?
Yeah, that's a good question. Definitely the Garden of the Sea for me. I love nature, and Southern Ohio has some beautiful nature. I know that might sound weird because I don't think a lot of people associate Ohio with nature, but there are a lot of like really beautiful trees. And so when I go there, it's just like very kind of meditative for me, and it reminds me a lot of like the nature back home. And so my first year, like I'd go there a lot just to like read or relax or like call my friends or talk to my family back home if I was ever feeling a little bit homesick. It was a really good place for me to just kind of like decompress and relax.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I definitely really liked visiting the Garden of the Sea, especially freshman year. What or how do you think like how do you know that you made the right choice by coming to USC? Because obviously I can tell you like it. And so what kind of do you when do you think you realized like, oh, this was the like place for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I guess I just kind of like to start by saying like it's natural for a lot of first year students to have those doubts, but I think like an important way, at least the way I realized I made the right choice was just again in that community aspect of USD, like because I have a lot of friends from Ohio who went to like states or not states, universities in Ohio, and just kind of like talking with them, I realized how unique USD's approach to community really is. Like the way that the staff at USD cares for their students is like so crazy to me. It's so impressive. Like I remember earlier this year, I got a phone call from a staff member at USD, just like checking in to say like, hey, how are you doing with all of, like the things happening with COVID? Like, are you okay? And like just kind of making sure that I was doing well. And I thought like, that's insane. Like this university is like having people call their students during this crazy time and just checking in on them. So I think all the little things that make USD special and the way that they care about their students just kind of like reinforce that idea I had that like this is where I was kind of like meant to be.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot about that, but that was really, like, refreshing. I was just, like, at home making lunch one day and, like, I got the call and I was like, "Oh, like, I'm doing pretty good," and, like, I actually had, like, a full conversation, and so it is really true about that. What do you think, is your favorite part about Ohio for you?
Yeah. I would say probably the nature. I'm kind of like a nature girl. I feel like I've said that a lot for like a few times, but I like hiking and just like there's a lot of really pretty scenery in Ohio, and also just kind of the simple things too, like rope swinging in the summer, going to cookouts, and just kind of like a little bit of that like Southern culture. I think is a lot of fun.
So what do you think that, like, if you could bring something of Ohio to San Diego or have, like, Ohio teach San Diego something, what do you think that would be?
Yeah, that's a fun question. um, I would probably say how to drive in the rain because I was driving on the highway like a few weeks ago and it was raining and everybody was going super slow and I was like,
Yeah.
guys, what's up? Because especially in California, like you can probably attest to this, when it rains, it just kind of sprinkles. It never really like downpours. And in the Midwest, I feel like the Midwest is pretty well known for like its summer storms. And so you'll just get like a bunch of rain and it's just like pouring down and you can barely see like out of your windshield, but people keep driving and like I don't know, when I came here and like people were slowing down because of the sprinkle, I was like, come on, y'all, like let's not.
No, I think I'm guilty of that. I, like, lock up my brakes and everything, so no, but I'm sure that that would actually make, like, everything better on the freeway, but, um, that's kind of all that I had for you, but thanks so much for answering my questions, and kind of giving anyone from the Midwest a taste of what it looks like to be a USD student. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
perfect. Yay.